hello everyone. It is working good.
Yeah, so I'm Adam
That's
Piekarczyk Oskar, and we'll talk about our story in SoftNet.
Yes, it is. Today we'll tell you how we want to transform our organization from the place when we strive to survive to a place when we want to learn how to thrive. And we want to ask you a question for what SoftNet does for a living. What has triggered the need for change? How did we start? What experiments we have tried? And what radical changes have we introduced to our company? And let's start with the goals.
Yeah, so what are the goals of this presentation? So when we thought about what we want to tell you, we discovered that we want to do two things. So firstly, we want to inspire, because a few years ago, we sure as hell needed some inspiration. Someone of you in this room gave that to us, so we are trying to give back.
You want to contribute.
Yeah, to contribute. And the second thing, we would like to convince you to get interested with the case, and so you can talk to us at the after party, so we can go into more details, and maybe you will give us some insights on what we should do or shouldn't do.
Yep. So let's start with our business context. SoftNet is a company that is delivering the software for cooperative banks in Poland for 35 years. The cooperative banks are small banks established and maintained by local communities, and each of this type of bank is a separate entity. We've got about 500 banks of this type in Poland.
Less than 500 banks, cooperative banks in Poland, and SoftNet provides software for about 120 of them.
Yep. So our product is a comprehensive banking system used by the bank employees and the bank clients. I assume that all of you are using some web or mobile apps to manage the money in your banks. So it is also our product, is our touch point with the bank customers.
And we're also doing a lot of back office stuff like regulatory reports, anti-money laundering, things like that.
Yep, and we are also living in the regulated environment.
Yeah, so in our presentation title, we mentioned that we work in a regulated environment. We are not gonna go deep into that, but we want to show you that we have a lot of entities that regulate what we can or cannot do, and also our clients are regulated by them. So there's a heavy load of regulations. Also, I would like to underline that Polish regulators are the strictest in the European Union. So basically what we are trying to say, if we are able to do some agile practices in this environment, you can too.
But if you want to talk about some regulators, today with us is Piotr. He will be very happy to talk about these themes.
Piotr, stand up, show yourself.
Okay, so the business context. How we were working in this company about 3 years ago, and this is the point where we start our journey. We will use the STAR model to introduce you to that. Starting from the strategy, there were no strategy visible to other employees. When we look at the structures, we've got siloed, hierarchical structured, based on the groups working individually. When you look at the processes, we've got the processes based on the ISO, ITIL, and PRINCE. When you look at the reward systems, we've got an individual way of rewarding, which was invisible to the other employees. And the human resources, we've got a large number of experienced employees, and as an input, we are hiring students and employees from banks.
Yeah, and I think it's also worth noting that our silos were structured in a way that we had a silo of programmer, silo of customer service, silo of analyst, silo of IT admins, and so on and so on. So you can imagine the number of handoffs.
Yes, and they are also attached to the components, so they are limited to the scope of their work. And,
Yeah. And
there are some big problems.
Yeah, we also had some elephants in the room. So basically, our core product is written in Clipper, and I would like to ask you, who knows what it is? Okay.
That doesn't count because the guys from SoftNet.
These guys
You
are
know?
from SoftNet.
Is it is it that programming language from the X-Base family? Maybe you should know it. I don't know. So the second one.
Yeah, we had many defects and like just errors in our software, and also we had inconsistent system design. So we delivered a lot of apps that looked like they are delivered by totally different companies. So something's not right.
Yes, and it is on the all levels. So starting from the database structures through the application interfaces and user interfaces also. So as a result, we've got the tendency to slowly lose the customers.
Yeah, and by the way, we still have it.
Yeah. But as you can learn from the systems thinking approach or the beer game, it is not the point where you should blame the individuals, you should blame the system. And we describe our system as a desert. So the environment when you have no resources to you've got your main task is to survive. Okay, so you put all the time to survival. You have no time to experiment or learn. We took it from the Kent Beck blog post about a few months ago. He put the analogy that you can describe your system as a desert or a forest, and there are several techniques that attach to that environments and are working in them. So nevertheless, the company is in a good financial position.
Yeah, actually we have money, and we have clients that are in a good condition, so we will have money.
Yes, so that's very good. And it is also the point when you have to admire the people working on a desert. They put a lot of hard work to manage to deliver enough software that is very profitable over the years. But also at this point, we've got two groups in SoftNet which are more interested in the topics related to learning and developing than survival. So that's the first of them, the young developers of online banking apps. They started to work separately from the rest of the company as a result of the group's move to separate location. And with these conditions and the desire to grow, this led them to the first less adoption in the company. And as a result...
Yeah, basically they were like moved to another building, and micromanagers and mid-level cannot see what they were doing, so they were allowed to do some experiments, and they wanted to do better, to make our organization better, so they stumbled upon less, and they thought like, okay, let's try.
Yes, and that less adoption was limited to the company structure constraints, so...
Yeah, they couldn't do much because of the organizational structure, but actually it was very important because they were allowed to experiment, to work on how they work. Right now we have pretty well-formed, strong teams that adapted some agile practices and that are characterized by a high transparency level. So you can talk to them, see what they're doing, and also they started to distribute their code ownership, so they share their code with others, in fact.
Yes. Basically, as a result from the group of the programmers, they became teams with distributed code ownership and significantly higher buzz factors. And as a side effects, they highlighted a lot of problems faced by the company.
Yeah,
and there's a second
meantime, a second group was formed. So a guy started working in SoftNet 5 years ago, and by the way, I was that guy. And I thought, okay, I'm working in a really depressing, sad environment. Let's do something about it. So I knew two guys from university, and I coincidentally connected with another long-standing employee, and we formed a team that was constantly in communication, that tried to make things better, but we are limited in scope. So we mainly did things like introducing a Git and GitLab to the company, working on continuous integration, technical stuff, because that was we were allowed only to do this. But we stayed open and we discussed a lot how we want to proceed, what we want to achieve, and we stayed open to other people, so we could create a shared vision that more and more people can join. And as a result, we have like 20 people that want to really make things better at SoftNet. And because of that, and because of the resources we have that we mentioned we still have, we can do something about our company. And we called the group the Desert Warriors, because
Okay, so at that point, the two groups start to build the tension of change, and especially the second group are working heavily on many experiments in the spirit of kaizen. We tried the OKRs, we established the company continuous improvement process, we practice meeting with customers, introduce architecture decision records. Erasmus program is something like travelers around the company, inside the company. We are doing the book club, we do some CI/CD improvements and many others, but unfortunately most of them are eventually suspended, and they gain a lot of frustration among the guys who are involved in. And don't get me wrong, that there are the good techniques, but they are not effective in the desert. So they're not effective in an environment when you have no resources to experiment. And it was our environment. So at this point, we understand that we need a deeper change, and it is related to Kaikaku.
Yeah, because basically what we were trying to do, we tried to change the organization only by influencing the events and patterns that were happening at our company. But what we really needed to do was to change the underlying structures and mental models. It's not an easy task. It also takes time, but we needed to do that. But in order to do, in our thinking, in order to change anything below the red line, you need to have C-level support. So we tried a few things to gain the support of the C-level, but unfortunately we did not get it. But we are able to do a little bit better. We gained the support of shareholders, and as a result, 2 disclaimers. I am one of the shareholders, and secondly, I am now COO, so we now have the authority to make changes.
Yep. So let's start the environment changes. Okay. So now we've got the alliance and the permission to start working with the structures. And this is the point when we created the vision of creating the cross-functional teams in our company. Especially we are able to start with one. We call it small kaikaku. So
it's kaikaczku is a pun in Polish language because kaczku sounds like a small duck. We are pretty afraid of doing big radical changes because we can destabilize the entire company. So we thought, okay, let's do small one and gain some insights, evidence, and so on.
Yep, and it is a creation of one cross-functional team, and we need some support. We were on the external workshops, and one of the participants, Kasia, told us...
Yeah, we want to thank you for that inspiration. So she basically said, do it for fuck's sake. And we were like, okay. We came back to the company and actually did that.
Yeah, we had no choice. So we go to the company, start to work on the assumptions. We establish the decision. There were only 3 assumptions. The first of them was delivering solution from start to finish. So we want to start with the analysis of the problem or need and end with delivering solution to the customers, to the production environment. The second one was working on the items from the top of the company's backlog. And the third, don't give up for 6 months. So we established it as some kind of experiment with a start and a end date. And already we are in the fourth month of that experiment.
Yeah, and basically what we did was we gathered volunteers and we actually made it intentionally hard to join the group because we wanted only people that are really motivated and believe in the change, because we wanted to make the chances of success higher. So, we did even small things like setting the introductory workshops on a day that most people work from home, and we required in-person attendance, even small things like that.
Yep, so our recipe is assumptions plus volunteers. We manage some mini team self-design workshops, and this is our cross-functional team with the name CrossNet. And as a result, we are started working on the topics that were difficult to address before, and we've got a learning-oriented team which is constantly expanding their capabilities. And what's most important, we've got a group of people which is constantly cleaning our environment with big smiles on the faces. So this is the hard work, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, and we even got results like we have a part of the system that we are trying to switch for a newer version for like 2 years and nothing, and they did like in about half a month and a half, something like that, because they were allowed to work on the solution from the beginning to the end, deployment, monitoring, and so on.
And on the full scope of the system. This is important. And this is the CrossNet team environment, which is quite cool, I think. This is the... Okay, that doesn't work. This is the whiteboard that we are using to refine the problems, needs, or some solutions. This is the big TV, which is used for the pair or mob programming. We got some extreme practice, which is named as all-day streams. So if you are working remotely from home, you are connecting with Teams to this setup. And for example, when I'm working in the office, I'm in my desk, I can ask you a question like you are sitting next to me. So we are doing it for whole days, one big meeting for all the time. And that results push us to start terraforming the organization.
Yeah, because you cannot go straight from the desert to the green space, to the forest.
To the forest.
There's a gradual process of terraformation, and you need to put a lot of work into it, and choose you also have to choose techniques that will help you, because they are not the ones that are used in the forest. And what we are doing right now, we are going a little bit bigger. So we are doing, in fact, maybe something that we call a kaikaku. Basically, we have a team or even teams. I'm not even sure if we can call them teams, the group of people that work on individual parts of the systems, maybe on a component. And that teams are destined to fail because they are structured in a way that don't allow them to deliver anything to a customer. Even on retrospectives, that teams realized that they did not deliver anything meaningful in the past half a year because they are not allowed to do so. So we need to create a structure in which they will be able to work on something. So basically, we want to have teams that have broader scope of capabilities and also broader scope of work. So basically, we are inspired by Alex and Roland. I hope I remember the names correctly. So we want to thank you.
Yes, and it's kind of simplification with our context.
Yeah, because you cannot do cross-functional teams at the blink of an eye, because for the first team, we gathered the most motivated people, the innovators, and now we need to work with the majority, and they probably do not have the required skills right now. They can learn, but you need to allow them to do. So we need to, like Alex said, we need to map where we are, where we want to go, and design our path.
Okay, so that are our effects of the terraformation. We started here by cleaning some small meeting rooms in our company.
And faxes. Who use fax?
Yeah, we removed the waste basically. This is our office 2 years ago, pure desert.
No one works there.
And this is our office now. So there are some fruits of the of the forest, of the terraformation. You know that some people are working here when you are on our corridor, and that's basically all.
Yeah, and we also want to underline that we are only the presentation layer of this work, because we work together as a big team, and that wouldn't be possible without the help of that entire wonderful group of people. And some of them, they are sitting right here, are now with us, and we would like to thank you for working with us.
So please stand up.
Yeah, thank you guys.